Hey again all, we're back. This is part 2 of integrating in-app purchases for BladeStar X for the Amazon App Store. So I think the last thing we finished off with was talking about this global persistent settings script. And the reason that we want to include this is because we want some place where we define if this is a Google Play game or an Amazon App Store game or another App Store game like Slide ME or Hand and Go or something like this. Okay. And I already have this global persistent settings script that was already done in another game, in that super bug killer game. This is the script here, so I'm just going to copy this. I think I can just copy all of this and then I can just paste it in, I believe. I think it should be okay for me to do that. I'm going to check it before I do it anyway. So I'm just pasting that in there. iPhone screen can darken. Equals false. In fact, I don't even think that screen can darken false is relevant anymore. I think it's been removed from the Unity library, or it's just I think it's called deprecated. It's not used anymore. It doesn't matter anyway. So I'll just delete this old code there, and that's fine. I'm just going to quickly check this part here. This is if we do an iPad version of the game, because we keep the iPad and the iPhone version in the same project as well, which is very useful. iPad version is true. Actually, that's going to be false. It's not an iPad version at all. Android stores, Google Play. In this case, it's going to be Amazon, so I'm just going to put that in there. Spare the scripts, just add localytics. iPad equals true, else set hint iPad version is 0. That's fine because it is not the iPad version. Set the store where plugins so we know it. Yeah, set string Android store, and that's Android store. That's right. This application target frame rate -1 just makes it run as fast as it can possibly run, and that's fine. Okay, so the big thing that I wanted to notice here, you don't have to include this other code here at the top or the bottom. It's just this middle one here and this line here. So all I'm doing is setting a string to say, oh, this is the Amazon App Store, and we can change that later if we want to go to the Google Play market. And what we're doing is we're putting that value, this Amazon, into a player pref, which is a value that's stored inside the memory of the phone. So even if you turn off the application, that value will continue. So once this first scene is loaded, this information will be stored, and then we want to access that information inside the shop scene, so that when a user clicks on the 3x3000 geometry stars, it will look at which app store we're on. If we're on the Amazon App Store, then it will go to the Amazon API. If we're on the Google Play market, it will go to the Google Play API. So in this case, we're just setting it to the Amazon App Store, which is cool. So I'm just going to click Command and S to save. Go back into Unity, bottom right, to see if there's any script errors, and it should be fine. And as I said this before, this is the first scene. So this is the first scene that loads in the game, and then we only need to set these values once when the game starts, and then that's pretty much it. Later, then once the game goes to the second scene and the third scene, the settings for the Amazon App Store here will be saved, and we can access that from any scene. So that's pretty good. I think we're okay there. So let's go back into our shop scene. I'm just typing in shop space shooter X. Yep, click save because we've made some changes to that scene. And okay, so I'm just looking at the next thing that I need to do. So I'm just going to take this away. I don't need that. Android adapter, I don't need that. Store kit is for iPhone, I don't need that right now. Shop item, in-app billing, yeah, we'll keep that one. Shop scene, okay. Alrighty, so what I'm going to do, this is the script where we said before, so if the user taps on buy 3,000 stars, then we have to start the API calls, the Amazon App Store in-app purchase calls. So I'm going to do one we've got here. We've got check and try to make purchase for Google Play. I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm just going to do it for the Amazon App Store, and I'm going to set up a separate function. So I just copied and pasted this. So again, just code reuse all the time. It makes things a lot faster. So check and try to make purchase for Google Play and for Amazon App Store. Product ID to purchase in Amazon App Store. Okay, so that's all right. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find some of the code that I used before, and I'm going to reuse that as much as possible. So I'm just thinking where this code is, and I think I had this here inside of the Super Bug Killer game. I believe I'd done this before, so I'm just going to find this quickly. So please just bear with me for a moment, guys, whilst I search around for this one. Okay, fly slice, and I think, was it shop scene? I think it might be. I'm going to right click and open this with Unitron, so that we basically so that it's a separate editor, so that I'm not getting the two scripts confused and I end up saving like a different project script. So that's why I open it in a separate thing. I think I've got the code here. Okay, cool. This is the one that I want right here. So if Android, and I'm just going to copy all of this right now because I know I need that. Going back into Mono Develop, and I'm just going to paste this in here. And I am going to, okay. And I'm going to clean this up because obviously it's not for the same game, it's for a different game. So, and I'll explain this in a moment, guys. Don't worry about it. I know this might look a bit confusing. I will explain this. Delete that one out. And I'm going to turn my heater down again because I'm actually starting to sweat as I'm talking about this stuff. All right. So that's fine. Item to purchase products in is 100 Bs. No, so that's fine. Okay, so I'm just going to test this with one actually. So if get string Amazon App Store. Okay, so let me just go to buy 3,000 stars equals Android, get string Android store. Oh, I need to copy the other part of that. Equals Amazon. Alright. So if it's Amazon, then what we want to do is check I'm trying to make purchase for the Amazon App Store. Okay, and then what we need to do is feed it the item ID. Don't worry, guys, I'm going to explain this in a moment. I just got to wrap my head around it again, and I will be able to tell you. Okay, so I'm just going to put else. I'm going to just copy and paste that, cut and paste it. So if the player presses go Amazon, then check and try and make purchase to the Amazon App Store. And then we need to get all the SKUs. We don't need this. I'm just going to delete that out because we're already doing a check for the App Store when the player taps the buy button. App SKUs. Okay, so I'll just quickly explain this so it makes a little bit more sense. So here, we're doing a raycast. I won't explain exactly what a raycast is right now, but check out the Pong tutorial in the channel if you want to know more about that. But what happens when the user taps on the 3,000 stars button here, buy 3,000 stars, we're checking is this the Amazon App Store or checking if it's the Google Play Market. So if the Android App Store equals Amazon, then we're going to go and call this function, check and try to make purchase from Amazon App Store. If it's not the Amazon App Store, then it'll try to make a purchase for Google Play. So that's cool. So the thing is, what we need to feed into this check and try to make purchase for Amazon App Store is the SKU ID. The SKU ID is basically the ID of the in-app purchase, and I'll show you where to get that right now because we need to get these. So we've got 3 in-app purchases, and I'm going to go to the Amazon developer portal, and I think I might have to sign in again. So, and this will hopefully give you some kind of insight into setting up an application onto the Amazon App Store as well. So signing in, and I think I've already set this one up. You see here this Blade Star X Space Infinity Wars. This has already been set up, you see, and so I had originally tried to upload this, but I had some problems, so I have to change it and then re-upload it, and basically fix the bugs that were in there before, which is what we're doing right now. And as you can see, I've filled in all of the data here. So if you are looking to set up a new application or a new game inside of the Amazon App Store, you just go to Add New App here at the bottom, click on that, and then what you'll basically get is this list, this screen here that I'm about to show, this one here. And then you've got to fill in like the information, how much is it, if it's free, description, screenshots, and so on, and that's pretty straightforward. The one that we're interested in right now is if you click on in-apps, in-app items, this is for the in-app purchases. This is where the magic happens, so to speak. Okay, so as you can see, I've already got these available here, consumable, and these are already live, which is great. So that means basically that they've been checked by the Amazon team and it's live, and once the game is live, people can purchase these. So what I want to do is, okay, so let me just explain. If you wanted to add a new one, I'll talk through it a little bit. If you wanted to add a new in-app purchase, in this case you wanted to add a consumable. A consumable is something that's not unlocked and can be consumed all the time, so like coins or a currency, something like that. So in this case, geometry stars, the player can buy 3,000 geometry stars and then another 3,000 and another, as many as they want, and that's a consumable. An entitlement is basically like you're unlocking a gun in the game. So for example, if the user pays $1 to unlock the gun, they don't have to unlock it again. It becomes permanently unlocked. Okay. In this case, we're using consumable because it's like coins. It's like a currency. Okay. So as you can see here, what we've got is 3,000 geometry stars, 8,000, and 13,000. That's all good. The type is consumable, and that's great as well. So I'm going to click on this just to show you, because if you click on Add a Consumable, you're going to get this screen here, this one here, and these tabs you have to fill in, and they're pretty straightforward. It's pretty basic. The SKU is just a string that's basically anything. The SKU, the string here, it could be, you know, something like a company name 5,000 coins. It can be anything, or it can just be the letter A, whatever you choose, so long as it doesn't conflict with any other in-app purchase that you have inside of your developer portal. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly make an edit here, and I think submitting that item, it looks like it's been submitted. What I think I need is I just need this SKU here, this 15. We don't need the app ID for this, and I'm just going to quickly click through and just make sure that everything is as it should be. So this is, yeah, 3,000 costs $1. Amazon will automatically convert the prices for you if you don't have the all the exchange rates for, you know, euro or pounds or whatever. Languages, yeah, 3,000 geometry stars, and this is the title of the purchase, and then the description of it, and then the keywords that are associated with that purchase. So tip here, guys, if you're adding keywords, add keywords to your in-app purchases and fill up all 30 keywords as well. Adding more keywords means that the user, when they search on the Amazon App Store, is more likely to find your application if they are, you know, for ours, for example, if you're searching for Killer Shooting Sniper X, you have to have the word sniper in the keywords, and then it will appear higher up the search results. So we actually had an increase in downloads on Killer Shooting Sniper X when we added in-app purchases, because we were able to add these keywords to the in-app purchases as well, which were connected to the game, and therefore it ranks higher in the search. So I think we're good here. I'm just double checking because we're going to check this this in-app purchase. We're going to test this in-app purchase. So we've got the icon, large icon, screenshots, and I've also added the screenshot here. When you add in these images here, guys, the small and large icon, you can add in an icon which is actually called like 3,000 stars or 500 coins or a picture of a gun, whatever it may be. A screenshot of the shop scene or the place where the player will make the purchase, or it could be a screenshot of the weapon in action or the consumable in action. And then at the bottom here, this is for the Amazon App Store team. They just want to see what happens immediately after the purchase is successful. So in our case, I actually put this together in Photoshop because I couldn't take a screenshot on my Android device. And it just says, "Hey, congratulations, you've got 3,000 stars." That's it, and that's fine for the Amazon team. Just so it depicts roughly what it looks like once the purchase is complete. Okay, so I think I'm just going to go back, and I'm thinking everything is fine on this one now. I'm just going to grab this SKU 15. It's just that's the SKU ID, the purchase ID. I'm going to go back into my script, and it's a string that we need to pass. So I'm going to go and type 15 in there, which is 3,000 stars. And what I'm going to do down here is I'm going to say 15. And I'm going to get the other ones, and then I'm going to explain to you what this is exactly so that it becomes clearer. Because right now it's probably as clear as mud. Alright, so $2 and $3. I should update these prices a little bit. I was probably thinking $1, $3, $5. I'm trying to do the upsell here. 135 perhaps. I might change that. But let's just get this first. Alright, so yeah, that's 16, that's fine. And then obviously I'm presuming the next one will be 17. And I'm going to update this price as well, since these are not live right now. It doesn't matter that we're changing this a little bit. When we change an in-app purchase, what we're probably going to have to do is basically resubmit this in-app purchase to the Amazon team so that they can check it. I think that's what will happen. So we've got $3 here, which is 187. Yeah, that's fine. I'm just going to check the description as well here to make sure that's all good. Because once we submit the in-app purchase, I don't think we can edit it. So that's why I'm double checking, you see. So get 8,000 geometry stars to unlock more weapons and items for your ship. That's all good. And then this was all previously approved once already, so I don't think we're going to have any problems. Because as we said before, the status is live, so the in-app purchase has already been approved by the Amazon team. Alright, so I think we're good there. 8,000 stars. And okay. Alright, so I think we're good there. So I'm going to call this $3. I'm going to submit this in-app item. So we just made a little change there, and it looks like it's already gone live. It's actually stayed live. So even though I just made an edit, I just made a pricing edit, it's still live, which is good. That's good to know. And then I'm going to click on 13,000 geometry stars, and I think this was SKU 17, which it is. I'm going to go back into my script, type in 17, and again, I'm going to explain that in a moment, guys, so don't worry about that just yet. All will be revealed. It will all be made clear. Alright, I'm going to click on edit. I'm going to change the price to $5 US. You know, because obviously we want to make as much revenue as possible. But also these 13,000 geometry stars is a lot more than 3,000 geometry stars, so obviously it's going to be more expensive. And this actually matches the price on the Google Play Market as well. So 311, that's fine. So $5, by the way, Amazon takes 30%, so we'll get $3.50 from this. And I'm going to click save. We don't have to enter any date at the bottom because it'll be as live as soon as it becomes available, as soon as it's approved. Description, I think We're all good there. 13,000 geometry stars. Yep, we're good. Images, we should be fine as well. 13,000. And 13,000, yes. Congratulations. And again, this has already been pre-approved by Amazon, so there shouldn't be anything to worry about there. It should be exactly the same thing. 8,000 geometry stars. So I only made a price change and it's already gone to approved. So even though it didn't update before to say in review, it's already been approved. And alright, so I think that's fine. Okay, so let's go back into our code now, because we've set up our in-app purchases, and I think we're pretty much good to go. Alright. So what we want to do is, as we mentioned up here, when we click on buy 3,000 stars, we want to make sure which app store we're on. Right now this is being built for the Amazon App Store. We want to check and try to make purchases for Amazon App Store, and we want to send it the SKU, which is 15. If we're clicking on 8,000 stars, we'd send it SKU 16, and if we're clicking on 13,000 stars, we want to send it SKU 17. Okay. Now down here, when it receives this SKU, we want to check it. And what we need to do is give a full list of SKUs, and so Amazon item SKUs 15, 16, 17 are all the in-app purchases. If we had more in-app purchases, if we had 20,000, 25,000 stars, then we'd add another one here. So like for example like 18, 19, and so on. Okay, but we've only got 3, so that's good. The next thing to call is Amazon in-app purchase initiate item data request. Amazon SKUs, so it passes this data into this function, and what that does is it goes to the Amazon App Store and tries to grab those in-app purchases and check that they're all there and get all the data that we need, such as pricing and so on. This is done once the game is live. Okay, so product to purchase IDM, and I'm just gonna update this quickly because this is, I'm going to separate that out a little bit, and I'm just going to rename these 15, 16, 17, and then I'll explain as well. So 15, 16, 17. There we go. All right. So so if the player taps if this value that's coming here, this string is, if it's 15, which is the 3,000 stars, then in-app purchase, initiate purchase request, and you start to purchase this SKU, this item. And then we're telling it which item to purchase, which in this case is SKU number 15, which is 3,000 stars, which costs $1. And then the same for these ones as well, just checking if the user tapped on 8,000 stars, then do this. If they tapped on 13,000 stars, then do this. And we're calling the Amazon API at that point and getting the data. We've retrieved the data in this line here, this one, and we're trying to make the purchase in this line. Okay. So I'm just going to click Command and S to save that, go back into Unity, make sure there's no coding errors, and we should be fine. And the next thing that we need to do is we need to have the event listener ready. So what that is once the in-app purchases has been called, once it's ready to make the data, once it's collected the data, and once it knows which one it wants to purchase, like for example 3,000 geometry stars, we then want to have the event listener ready to listen to that call from Amazon to say, hey, yes, the player's paid the money, now unlock your thing in the game, unlock your gun, unlock your geometry stars, whatever it may be. Okay, so I've got to do a couple of checks, guys, but I'm going to pause the video there. I'm going to be back in a few minutes, so stay tuned for part 3. Okay, take care, bye-bye.